Welcome back everyone to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 7, Episode 1 of Joan of Arc, and we are playing the Dracula Bloodthirst episode from the Reliquary expansion. So we did our setup video already. We've got just a quick recap. We've got civilian forces around, indicated by these cards: priest, blacksmith, etc. We've got the forces of Radhu III, who's actually siding with the Ottomans against Dracula. And we've got the forces of the Wallachian villagers who are under Dracula's rule, sort of, and all these peasants. So you've got the Ottomans and the usurper versus Dracula, his demons, and his townspeople. And we're going to jump right into turn one. Before we do, quick shout out to Pontos Fathom Press. We've got Hermeticism of Hastur and Lost Carcosa in the Yellow Sign. Go check out our bookstore link below. Helps to support the channel. As usual, your likes, subscriptions, comments below. Really appreciate you guys to join in. The videos are on a playlist, so if you want to watch the playlist, you can play all the way through. If you missed the setup video, go back and watch it, and you can hear the backstory of this episode and get into it. So I've got all the decks set up. We've got all of our pieces placed. Let's jump into turn one. I'll move the marker up to turn one on the track. It's only a 5-turn game, so let's start out with the forces of Mehmed first. They have the ability to burn the village. So let's go ahead and have... let's go ahead and do our setup first. We can come around here and flip over our cards. We start out with 4. We'll also turn up our... Okay, so we can get some power tokens. We can trade in some tokens. So we'll start out with the 4 for everyone. Activation tokens. So 4 activation tokens for Mehmed, 4 for the villagers, 4 for Radhu the Third, the handsome, and 4 for Dracula and his forces. Okay, so let's start out with the Ottoman advancing. I guess we'll move this Sultan here, and we're going to activate. We will activate based on orders for 1, 2, 3, and we'll keep 1 in reserve. I think that should be enough. So let's activate these down here with these peasants. So the cavalry will come in. We'll also activate these forces down this way. And we'll give them the ability to throw fire onto that building that's adjacent. And we'll also activate our archers. We'll move them in 1 and have them take some shots at these peasants, some of these villagers. Okay, so first up, let's get into it. I'll get the cards out here. We've got our Okchu fighters versus our peasants, the farmers, I believe they are. They're peasants. They do not have a defensive role, so any damage, they're just going to take that damage. So let's start out with the archers. They're just going to fire at this group here, and they roll the yellow. So we can do 3 yellows for that. Let's see what we get. We get 1 routed back, and that will do that for the attack. So they pushed peasants back. Let's go ahead and do an attack by Mehmed himself on fire token. So he's going to roll a red, a black, and 2 yellows. If he gets 1 blank, he gets a fire token. And he gets a blank, so he'll go ahead and place a fire token where this building was. I will just replace this building this adjacent building here with a fire instead. So we've got our first fire token. Move this building out this way. We'll also have these light infantry attacking the peasants. Light infantry attacking the peasants with white dice, so that'll be 3 as well. And we're also able to route them back to here. We'll also have this other light infantry attack these peasants. And we've got these guys are wounded, and we'll move them off to here. And finally, cavalry will attack the, this is the C5. They also roll white. I'll use 4 dice to attack this peasants. Let's get all the attacks at once. And we also get them routed. So we'll push them back this way. And that's going to do it for the forces of the Ottomans. Let's now move on to the forces of, we'll just go in order here. We'll go to the forces of the peasants in town. We'll have these peasants also activating. So we can take their activation and we'll also leave 1 in reserve here as well. So let's have these bowmen attacking. And let's have these guys attacking bowmen as well. Let's have these peasants mobilizing. So we'll have the peasants mobilize here to attack the light infantry. We'll have these bowmen attack these here. They can also attack into this one over the wall. So we can move all of these here just for visibility. And let's go and have them do their attack. So we'll go to the bowman first. The bowman can roll 2 yellow. So let's just roll 4, and we can take care of these 2 versus these 2, the janissaires. And we get routing these guys back. So then these guys are pushed back to retreat, both of them, from the arrow volleys. Okay, so that's that. We'll also have the peasants attack. Let's have the peasants attack these. They get to roll yellow, so that's 3 peasants. They can attack the light infantry. So that's going to give them, they get a yellow dice in return. So let's do 3 dice and then 2 dice, right? So we get a wounded, but we also can roll their 2 dice for defense. And we got a shield blocking. Let's use a reroll for them also. We get 2. So 1 is blocked, 1 goes to injury. So we'll move this guys to the infirmary. And finally, we have these archers also attacking the cavalry here. So we'll have 1, 2 archers attacking cavalry. And this is 4 dice. We get to route 1 back. And lastly, that's going to do it for them. So forces of Mehmed the Conqueror have gone. Forces of the villagers have gone. Let us go ahead next and move to the forces of Radu. So Radu's going to move his knights. Again, he's going to... Let's also give everybody... I'm going to give a charge to everyone here. So actually, they all have a charge from their rolls. And actually, I'm going to give them a reactivate. And I'll give the villagers also a reactivate because they don't really have a charge sort of set up here. So let's go ahead with the charge play for some of these mounted knights. And we'll take 2 of these tokens and we'll reserve some for the future. So I'll go ahead and put a charge here and just a normal movement forward here for Radu's men. And also a charge forward for these bowmen can move forward and attack. So these guys will get to move the 2. So they'll move 1, 2 to here. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And 1, 2. Also, our archers will move up here. Our mounted archers will move up here. And finally, our other troops will just move forward 1 normally. Just move up to the rallying point, and they'll kind of be a reserve. So we've got our mounted gentry and our flag bearer, and our actual Radu is here as well. So they'll move forward. Let's go ahead and roll the attacks now. So we'll grab mounted bowmen can go first. Let's try to have one of them take out these peasants. And that's a miss. Let's have the other mounted bowmen fire at the peasants as well. Miss again. Let's use their reroll. Have them all do a reroll. Okay, so we get this peasant is sent off to the infirmary. Okay. Next up, let's have, again, these mounted knights. They can roll with reds. And these guys are also sent out of the game. So peasants are going left and right. And that's going to do it for our forces of Radhu the Handsome. Finally, let's go with Dracula. Dracula will move his cockatrice here, and also his demons here, and attack these cavalry. And that will just be a 1 move for them. And then Dracula will also move his forces up toward the Ottoman forces. Move all his wolves into this space. So they'll just advance. And let's have the cockatrice go. It's got a yellow and 2 whites versus one of the mounted gentry. And we get to rout back these guys 1. So these guys will get pushed back. We'll also have the flying demons. The flying demons roll a red, and I'll just double those up. So flying demons attack. We got injury again. Let's roll the defense for the mounted knights. They get to roll a black for defense, so two defenses. And we get 2 shields, but we get 3 attacks. So one of them gets pushed back, and another one gets sent to the infirmary. Finally, there's the voracious demons. You guys can take a look at the... this is the winged demons. You can go check out our painting video for these. Finally, we'll do the voracious demons, and they'll attack this last set of mounted knights. The voracious demons will just roll reds, so I'll just get 2 red rolls for them. And they also get to roll black protection. They get a sword, so nothing. So they're going to also be sent off to the infirmary. So let's go through and roll our infirmary phase. We've completed all of our combats. We'll go into our final camp phase. We're going to do our casualties check. So let's kind of go through our casualties. So we've got Achu can come out and go to a rallying point. So these Achu come to the Ottoman rallying point. Let's go to our next roll. We have death to these gentry. So our first death is here. Our next roll. Again to the infirmary for peasants. We get these peasants back to a rallying point here in the Wallachian village. Next roll is another rallying point for the mounted gentry. Back to their rally point here. Just move it back here just for ease of rolling. And then finally, our last peasants death, so they're also killed. So we'll do some scoring now. We basically get a point each for these killed things. I'll go ahead and clean up the board, and I'll see you in round 2. I'll move round 2 up. We'll see you in the next turn. Thanks for watching. This is a huge, massive game. So we've already got a burnt building. Mehmet's forces are attacking. Dracula's sweeping around to greet him. And peasants are firing over the wall with the Ottomans and the forces of Radu attacking. So we'll see you in round 2. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.